In terms of the race for Europe, Boydie, it is looking fascinating at the moment because you look at Chelsea, who retook fourth after their win against Tottenham. We'll talk about that game a little bit later. 7 points between Chelsea in fourth and Fulham down in ninth. In terms of the traditional favourites you look out for the top four, and top five might be enough as well, who are we looking more nervously over their shoulders at the moment?
It can change so quickly. You know, I mean, you think Aston Villa have been on a terrific run, but they've got two massive European games coming up now that they might focus on that. We don't know. They've got themselves into a great position as well. Newcastle, obviously off the high of lifting the first trophy in a long, long time. They came up against a Brentford team where they had been really good in the road, and you think, you know, there's a potential for Newcastle maybe to drop points here. They found a way to win the game of football. Nottingham Forest just keep going and going and going. City, they've been getting results recently, but it's not been at the level of we've seen from City in recent seasons. And now with, you know, Haaland missing, you know, that can be the difference in a run-in. Just someone who can sniff, you know, an opportunity to get the ball in the back of net. Brighton, Chelsea, you know, they're all still in the mix. I mean, for Brighton, I think it was a really, really bad one for them during the week. There's no getting away from it. I think Aston Villa went down there, done a job on them. There wasn't really much between the two teams in the first half, but the second half, you know, Aston Villa I thought were clinical on the counter-attack. If there was one I was a little bit, you know, not worried, but, you know, you could fear for a little bit, would be Chelsea. I mean, I know they won the game against Tottenham the other night there, but they don't look anywhere near
consistent
the team.
Enough.
They don't look anywhere near the team.
What are you not happy with, Clinton?
No, I'm happy with what Boydie says, but you know, with Aston Villa, you said about maybe the Champions League. Don't you think they've got a great opportunity this season? Because remember, fifth place might be good enough. So why would you put? I understand the PSG is a massive game. Put your all eggs in that basket when you've got a great chance of finishing maybe fifth with the run that they've been on.
No, but I mean, it's obviously two games that's going to be squashed in. I think PSG, if they win today, they win the league. Or they need to pick up a point. Then they don't play the midweek game. So Aston Villa might look and say they could be, you know, fresh for those two games. Villa, I think, will probably look at it today. It's a home game. Yes, it's against Forest. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they make changes. He's done it before. He's made changes. His squad's... It's a big squad now at Aston Villa. You know, you've seen like for like, whoever, you know, it takes to the field, they will still fancy their chances of getting a result. And then I think it's away to Southampton for Aston Villa next week as well, where you'd expect them to go there and get a job sandwiched in between two huge, you know, European ties that, I mean...
Surely this Nottingham Forest game is bigger than the PSG game.
It could well
in
be.
my opinion.
Well,
I mean,
that's you would probably look at that and say it's the best chance of getting back into the Champions League next year.
It's got to be easier to get in the top five and win the Champions League.
You would think so for Aston Villa.
But because it's so tight as well.
I think his squad, though, you just touched on it there, Clint. I think the squad that Aston Villa have got, they're competitive at every competition we see in the FA Cup, and they'll still believe today is his biggest game. Your next game is always the biggest
Especially
for me.
when Boydie says they followed out with Southampton. So, you know what I mean, before you know it.
I wouldn't be surprised if Villa make changes today. I really wouldn't be surprised.
And we'll talk more about that game, but just coming back to the race for Europe, Dawes, just in terms of Forest, because I know you're going to be focusing on the game between Everton and Arsenal in just a moment. You're 6 points clear of City, who sit down in fifth. Fifth may well be enough this season for a Champions League spot. I mean, all season we're talking about whether they could do it. I mean, belief now must be coursing through your veins. You cannot see them messing this up, or can you?
No, I can't now. The situation now, I think it's going to be a tough game tonight against Aston Villa, and then then it's Everton, and I think they've got enough in that squad and the togetherness that they've got, and to be so close, I don't see them falling now. And I think you see them in the FA Cup. Incredible. It's still tight, but they're 6 points clear of Manchester City. 7 ahead of Newcastle. Yes, Newcastle have got a game in hand. So I think what they've done all season, Nottingham Forest and Nuno and those players, I think they will get into the Champions League, and it'll be a magnificent achievement for the two previous ones where they've been fighting for relegation. Semi-final of FA Cup and could be in the Champions League. Remarkable that we're even talking about and put them in that bracket.
See with the owner. I mean, I know he's obviously spent money. See if they have to get that Champions League. I mean, we all speak about players leaving clubs. Do you think he'll keep all of them and strengthen again to go?
100%. His aim, even when I was there, I retired 2021, 4 years ago.
They've kicked on since then.
Oh, have they, Boydie? But even when they got back to the Premier League after 23 years, you look at the money he spent, and people said, it was a little bit of scattergun approach. And it was to an extent, but he didn't care. He really didn't care. He wanted to bring success back to Nottingham Forest, to the city. And if they get in the Champions League, guarantee they will go again. And I look at the players that they'd probably look at. I believe they'll be in the bracket of Gyökeres, And people are talking about, could he go to Arsenal? Nottingham Forest will be in that bracket and they will spend the money. Mercy's looking at me now as if I've said something ridiculous. I'm telling you. Cunha, I'd put Cunha in that bracket. Nottingham Forest and this, and this owner...
He's good, though.
He will go out there to do everything. Let me tell you, Boydie, I've seen it hands-on the way...
If you're good, where'd you go? Arsenal or Forest?
Of course, if you'd go Arsenal, no doubt in that, because could this be a one season for Nottingham Forest? Could it be a free?
I'm not too sure
because I think this owner really believes. I've seen what he's done at Olympiacos. I've seen it hands-on. He wants success, and he's bringing it, and he will not stop. And we've talked about recruitment. He's got ones wrong. He has. He's wasted money, but he's also got ones right, and he'll keep generating.
I'd say he'll have to buy that suits the way they play.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, let's talk about that a little bit more later, but they are having a remarkable season. It could be some finish.